Omaha, Nebraska, stand up. Your guy has done it. Terence Crawford proved once again that without a question he is one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT of this thing you call boxing now. I did a live stream for the entire card, and while watching the prelims, I made a full segment giving out my prediction. I said, you know what, guys? I picked Crawford, but after I found out, and I'm going to post a video of my prediction, but I said that after I found out that Canelo, the great Canelo, donated to the people of Gaza, I don't want to really wish bad upon the man. Why? Because him and Mario Barca are the only two fighters in our time who stood with the people of Gaza. But I said, you know what, since you guys want a prediction, I truly believe, because two people asked me in a row while doing the live stream, who do you got winning? I said, listen, I'm going with Crawford, and not only am I going with Bud, but don't be surprised if Crawford hurts and stops Canelo. Now, he didn't stop him, but he did definitely hurt him, outclassed him, dominated him, and simply showed that he's way superior. Now, I picked Crawford, and even though in my live stream, if you go back, I believe on the 1 hour mark, I kept speaking for like 25 minutes telling you why Bud will beat Canelo. And I'm going to post a link of my prediction that I made before I found out that Canelo donated to the people of Gaza, because if you watch that prediction video, 2 days after it, or a couple of days after, I posted another video and I said that, you know what, I just found out that Canelo is just donated to the people of Gaza. So, you know, maybe, just maybe, I'm going to sit this one out. Why? Because I will never wish bad upon a man who spoke about the people of Gaza. Why? Because also Mario Barrios. What did I say before the Manny Pacquiao? I saw all the comments. Why are you giving the GOAT a chance? I said, listen, I love Manny, but Mario standing with the people of Gaza, so I'm going to stand with Mario. But even though I did pick Crawford to dominate Canelo, but listen to this. Shout out to both men. Shout out to both legends for showing us what this sport is all about. Now let's start with the winner, Crawford. Listen, the man is unbelievable. The man is exceptional, and all of you delusional and I mean, listen, I'm gonna keep it classy here, but to every video that I made about Crawford, why he can win this fight and the keys to victory for him and this and that, look at the comments. You don't know anything about boxing. And even on my live stream, when I started saying that Bud will win, I got like 3 or 4 people just commented the most ridiculous things ever. One guy actually said that you are a traitor because you are picking against the man who's your color. Now, first of all, I'm Arab, I'm Middle Eastern, so I'm not black and I'm not Mexican, I'm not Latino. And secondly, this is boxing. This is boxing. I never pick anyone based on their race. Now, can I pick someone based on who they are outside of the ring? If they are true exceptional human beings like Bud and Canelo, yes, of course, I might sway my pick towards, you know, the exceptional human being outside of the ring. But I will never pick anyone based on their race, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I also got another comment saying that, you've been giving Canelo all this credit, you showed your true colors, you actually think Bud will win, prepare to never speak about boxing again. Some just ridiculous. So I doubled down. So I said, okay, you know what? Not only will Bud win this, but don't be surprised if Bud knocks out Canelo. Now, I love Canelo. I love Canelo. But let's get into the fight. Bud simply looked unbelievable. Unbelievable. The man did literally every single thing better than Canelo. He dominated him from bell to bell. I mean, I gave Canelo 2 rounds. I scored the fight live, if you go back to my live stream. And you can give Canelo 3 rounds if you're generous, but listen, they were trying to rob Bud. They were trying to rob the man. I mean, 2 judges gave Canelo 5 rounds. That is absolutely insane. And heading into the championship rounds, Bud and Canelo were even on 2 judges' scorecards, which tells you what you need to know about this corrupt game. But nonetheless, we're going to keep it positive and talk about Bud. Listen, the man's jab was unbelievable. The man's stab to the body was unbelievable. His catch and shoot. And what did I say in my breakdown? I said, I promise you, that Canelo banging the arms will not work. Why? Is because Bud counters with shots that are like slingshots. He keeps in the high guard, and the moment you touch him, he's gonna come, and he, you know, he always catching, boom, 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 boom. The man is unbelievable. Look, I'm getting excited talking about Bud Crawford, the magician, the boxing wizard, the greatest fighter my eyes ever saw. Now, what did I say leading up to this fight? I said that Bud Crawford is the most dynamic fighter my eyes ever saw, and Canelo is the greatest pressure fighter / counter-attacker that my eyes ever saw. And listen, the facts still remain. What did I say before the fight? I said whoever wins, we're going to give them all the credit, and whoever loses, we're going to give them all the respect. So all the credit in the world goes to Bud Crawford, and all the respect in the world goes to Canelo. You know, look how classy Canelo is. He lost, got dominated. He could have easily said that, listen, I'm getting old, I had my time, maybe if we would have fought a few years ago, the fight would have been different. But no, the man literally made zero excuses. And you gotta love Canelo for that. I love and respect Canelo based on the man that he is, but I'm not an idol worshipper like most of the degenerate Canelo fans, Now I get why a lot of people don't like Canelo. It's not because of Canelo, but it's because of his horrible, delusional, and degenerate fan base. And you know something? They don't represent Canelo because Canelo represents the hard-working, classy, humble Mexican people. Listen, I've been to Mexico. Mexico's the greatest country I have ever visited. Why? It's not just because of the scenes, the beaches, the people, yes. But most importantly, the culture, the people who I interacted with, they were so humble, so gracious, so hardworking, and so generous. And I felt like I was home. But those idiots who told me on the live that this and that, when I started breaking down why Bud will win and possibly stop Canelo, you guys don't represent Canelo Alvarez. And one of them mentioned something like, you showed your true colors because you've been telling us how much you love the Mexicans, and now you're picking against the Mexicans. Listen, I'm not like you. No matter who I pick, I will always respect and admire the person who I picked against. And like I said this before, Canelo and Bud, they are my two favorite fighters. But you need to look in the mirror, you idol worshipper, no matter what your religion is. I don't think there is a single religion that doesn't condemn and listen, idol worshippers, there is no room for idol worshippers in this place and on this earth, beautiful people. So now it does make sense why people, criticize Canelo so much. Is because of the degenerates who I just saw on my live stream. But I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to let them represent Canelo. So much respect to Canelo. One of the GOATs, one of the legends, but simply proved that he is the GOAT. Maybe, right behind Muhammad Ali. Listen, put him up there. Because why? Because Canelo was up there. Canelo, even though he lost, but I'm not going to change my mind. Canelo is still the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. No question, beautiful people. And not only is he listen, if someone in Mexico, everyone I asked, no one said that Canelo is the greatest Mexican of all time. They all said Chavez. And I respect that. And if you would come up to me and tell me that, listen, Chavez is the GOAT of Mexican boxing, not Canelo, I would be like, listen, you know what? You might very well be right, but I'm not going to lie, I'm not a boxing historian. I have never watched a full Julio Cesar Chavez fight. So he might very well be the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. But as far as what I have seen and as far as my time, when it comes to Mexican boxing and the Mexican style, the high pressure style, no one got the charisma of Canelo. No one got the calmness and composure and chin and skill and IQ of Canelo. This is just purely my opinion, beautiful people. Now, Bud Crawford, what an unbelievable fighter, what an unbelievable human, what an unbelievable, listen, every single positive thing that you gotta say about Bud, say it. because the man deserves it in buckets. The man is the most dynamic fighter of all time. The man is the greatest switch hitter of all time. And the man might just very well be the greatest to ever do it. I mean, listen, Muhammad Ali will forever be the GOAT based on the things that he did inside and outside the ring. But when you talk about purely boxing and daring to be great and jumping up in divisions, because Muhammad Ali, you know, the man was a heavyweight. But if you want, like, Muhammad Ali is the GOAT when it comes to the big guys. The GOAT when it comes to the smaller guys, it's Bud. No question. Listen, like, I was so happy for the man. Like, you can't imagine. Like, he hurt Canelo. He stabbed him to the body many times. Canelo was like, look at the advice from Eddie Reynoso throughout the fight. He kept telling him, you gotta be strong, you gotta go get him. And look at the unbelievable, perfect advice from Bomac. Bomac, I mean, he was flawless in his breakdown and telling Bud what to do. Listen, all I gotta say is this, beautiful people. Bud Crawford is the greatest fighter my eyes ever saw. Leading up to this fight, I kept saying that Bud and Canelo, they are the two greatest fighters my eyes ever saw. But because the difference in levels was insane, we gotta call it what it is. Canelo will forever have my respect and admiration, and I will forever give him all the respect. Why? It's because the man did something that 99.9% of your favorite fighters wouldn't dare to do, standing with the people of Gaza. So that alone, I don't care if Canelo loses 10 fights in a row. Much respect to Canelo. The legend, the charismatic enigma, the face of boxing for many years, but now everything belongs to Bud. Bud came in, took everything from Canelo, took every single belt in boxing from Canelo. But one thing Bud didn't take from Canelo is the respect. Canelo will forever and ever and ever have my respect and admiration. The man is unbelievable inside and outside the ring, but he just happened to meet possibly the GOAT, the most dynamic fighter to ever do it, the legendary, the iconic, the charismatic, the confident Terence Crawford, the pride of Omaha, Nebraska. Every single great thing that's about to come Bud's way, he deserves it 100 times more. Why? It's because the man has earned it. The man never ducked anyone. The man escaped death. He got shot in the head, drove himself to the hospital, reinvented himself. I mean, picked himself up from the darkest valleys of despair and went on to conquer the impossible. And listen, whenever you speak the name Bud Crawford, make sure that you include the word greatest, because the man has earned it. Like I said, Muhammad Ali, even Bud Crawford, they asked him who's the GOAT, he said Muhammad Ali. It takes a GOAT to recognize a fellow GOAT. And look at Canelo. He said Bud is way better than Floyd, that small, insecure coward of a man. Canelo and Bud, they are both levels above Floyd. Congrats to the pride of Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Bud Crawford.